Hey, what's up, guys? Alright, so this chapter basically picks up where the last one left off. We see the teams, or at least three of the teams infiltrating the base. We start off with Nozel, which, by the way, correct me if I'm wrong, was Nozel using water magic in this chapter? If he was, I could have swore he was using wind magic in the last chapter. I mean, I could be wrong. It could just been the way the attack that he used in the last chapter was drawn that I thought it was wind magic. But yeah, I could have swore he had wind magic as his ability. I mean, it makes sense if he had water magic since he's Noel's older brother, so they would probably have similar magic since they're part of the same family. But yeah, I don't know. I have to go back and look at the Wikipedia page for the official manga and see exactly what his magic's listed under because I could have swore it was wind, but maybe it actually is water. Then again, it could have just been a way that was his ability that he was using in this chapter was drawn. I thought it was water and it might be wind. I don't know. I'll have to go back and check. Speaking of Noel, we actually check in with First Squad next, and basically they're just making their way through the enemy base as well. They're basically attacking. We didn't really get to see Noel do anything, which was a little disappointing. I love the character, and I love to see her actually do stuff. I actually really hope she actually get a good fight scene in this arc, which, based off of how fast this arc's going through, I don't actually see her actually doing much. I don't actually see any of the or any of the supporting cast really doing anything in this arc, besides just rushing through nameless enemies. But yeah, we get to see her. She's basically just complaining to the flower guy who he was so annoying in the last arc, and he's even more annoying in this arc. He cut his hair. He's calling more things beautiful because he's not being discriminative against non nobles anymore. But still, the character's grown. I can at least admit to that. The character has grown a lot. He's basically not being like prejudiced anymore. He's basically helping out people. He's more. I can't think of the word. He's more friendly, I guess, or like more like open with people. But at the same time, he's just still so annoying. I hate the character so much. But yeah, I had to put up with him. If I get to see more of Noel, I will put up with seeing him. We meet a new character named Ben something. I didn't bother to remember his name. I know he's part of Meliona's squad, but he his character is really not important unless he's gonna be like the red shirt of this arc, where he ends up sacrificing himself or dying in some way. It literally, unless that happens, we're never going to see him again outside this arc, so it doesn't matter what his name is. We really did not need to be introduced to him. We also got to see Luck. Luck was actually, running around inside the enemy base attacking people. He was a little disappointed by the fact that they came to such a fun place that he actually gets to let loose and whatnot, but they had to destroy it, even though they're we also get to see Luck, which I actually forgot Luck was actually part of Noel's squad. He's a little disappointed that they came to such a fun base and they had to destroy it as soon as they get there. But you know how Luck's character is. As long as he gets to fight strong people and as long as he gets to go all out in his attacks, he doesn't really care what's going on in the actual plot of the story. He doesn't actually care what the mission actually is. As long as he gets to fight strong opponents and go all out, he's fine. That's what I like about the character. He's simple. He wants to fight strong people. He doesn't care what's going on. As long as he gets to fight someone strong, he's always in. And that's what's cool about the character. Then we're checking with Yuno squad, and we basically just see them doing what basically the air squads are doing. They're going against nameless opponents. They're taking them down one by one, making their way through the base. They do notice, however, though, or at least Mimosa, my girl Mimosa, notices that there's some weird carvings or weird writings on the walls, and the further they go in, the more writings they're seeing. And we also get to see that he's starting to hear a weird voice in his head. And it seems like that voice is getting louder the further they go in, just like the weird carvings on the walls are getting more and more frequent the further they go in. So obviously something's going on with him. I'm guessing, and I'm pretty sure everyone else is pretty much guessing in this at this point. This is when he's going to turn Sasuke, or at least, they start really pushing the Sasuke development for him. And what I mean by that is that he's basically just going to join the dark side. This arc's basically just going to serve to basically get him tempted to join the enemy, and then we're slowly going to see him start going down a more darker path to gain more power, to become stronger and stronger, just as fast as he can, until eventually he ends up joining the dark side because they offer him so much power that basically he could become the Magic Emperor just right then. Which I'm going to be a little disappointed if he ends up actually joining the enemy squad, just because that's just such a classic shonen thing where the main rival or the main protagonist ends up joining the dark side in order to keep up with him or to gain more power faster. Which, by the way, doesn't really need their help. I mean, he's what, 6 months into being a Magic Knight and he's already at captain level with his power. Does he really need their help at this point? I mean, within a year, he probably would be the Magic Emperor. Him and Asta are just growing so fast, they're growing so powerful so fast that they really don't need any outside help. besides her own training at this point. Which, by the way, if at the end of the day, when the Midnight Sun or whatever you call them, if they end up asking, hey, come join with us, we'll give you all this power, we'll help you become this much stronger, this much faster. It'd be funny if he just turns around and says, "What the fuck do I need you guys for? I can get this strong by myself. I don't fuck you guys. I don't need your help." I'd really love it if that's where his character ends up going, just because it'd be such a turn from the classic shonen cliche of the main protagonist is a rival, ends up joining the dark side, yada yada. I would really love to see that happen. Oh yeah, speaking of Asta, we check in with his squad at the end of the chapter, and we see them basically, well, not them, basically just Meliona, just rushing through enemies, taking people out left and right. It's funny, Zora and Asta actually make a joke of the fact that at first it looks like they're actually the ones attacking people, because you get these two panels, the two of them, but like, they're boasting about their magic abilities. They're like, "You really think you could stop us?" And then we check in, we see actually Meliona's the only one attacking, and I'm just like, oh, well, we're kind of just pointless here. If you're going to take care of everyone, we're kind of just, sitting here doing nothing. And this is when we see that there's actually two Astas there, and the other Asta's actually, the copy Asta's actually mimicking Asta perfectly. Which at first I thought Gray, the other member of the magic, the Black Bulls Order, who copies people's appearance. I thought she was there, and that she was just, embarrassed to be in her original form, so she was copying Asta because she knows him. But no, it turns out that it's actually Liar. It's actually funny how they find out that it's Liar. They're like, which one to use the real Asta? And before even Meliona can even ask her, or, ask any questions about, like, all right, who's the real Asta? Show us some kind of proof that you're the real Asta. She's like, nah, fuck that. She just burns both of them. She attacks both of them. Asta uses the magic sword to block the attack so he doesn't die, because obviously she would kill him with one attack. And that's when we find out that Liar is actually the other Asta. He uses water magic to basically get rid of fire so he can not die. And this is when we find out that his magic ability isn't just to, copy people's appearances, but he can also copy their magic, because he actually, I guess because he fought Yami or he's seen Yami's abilities, that he actually is able to copy it perfectly. It's not as strong as Meliona points out in this chapter, because he just basically punches his attack with one shot and then goes in and then basically destroys Liar in this chapter. She like literally one-shots him in this chapter. Which, by the way, he's actually flirting with her the entire time. It's actually kind of funny how he's flirting with her and she's kind of just brushing it off. But yeah, at the end of the chapter, she basically just destroys him with one shot. Now, obviously, he's not done. Obviously, he's the main villain for this arc, so he's obviously not done. He's probably going to come back even stronger and end up taking Meliona out at the end of the day, which would lead to Asta and Zora taking him on. Which brings me to my main complaint of this series. Again, I gotta say, the series is just too fucking fast-paced, which I heard the anime actually has the opposite problem, that it's too slow-paced. But it's just, with Black Clover, it's just the pacing is just not down right. It's just, we're 2 chapters into this arc and we already have the main protagonist's squad going up against the main villain for the arc. We could have used more build up. We could have seen Yuno, get tempted by the dark side, going up against Liar, and his squad gets taken out. We could have seen Noel's squad get taken out too. We could have seen Nozel's squad, put up a good fight and ultimately get taken out. And then Meliona, Asta, and Zora jumping in at the end of the day to save the day. Really, we could have used more build-up. We didn't really need Liar going straight for Asta and Meliona. I mean, I guess it makes sense story-wise that he would go after Asta squad first, because capturing Asta is one of their goals. But at the same time, we could have used more build-up. We could have, had him go up against at least 1 or 2 of the other squads. Maybe take out Fodder squad that we don't really care about, and then go up against actual mage squad like Nozel squad. Could have seen him go up against them. And then after they get defeated, then Asta, Meliona, and Zora jump in. Again, just more build up. Just, get the pacing down better. Like, slow down the pace a little bit. We don't need that. We don't need to rush through each arc. Let's get through like 6 or 7 chapters throughout the arc before the main villain and the main protagonist end up fighting against each other. But yeah, that's just my main complaint about the series. Which, by the way, if my main complaint about the series is that it's too fast paced, it's still a good series then. It's still a good series, if that's my only complaint about it, then it's still pretty good. Not every series is perfect. There's always some kind of problem with the series, and it just happens to be that this one's too fast paced. But yeah, other than the pacing issues, it actually was a pretty interesting chapter. Now, what's interesting about Liar's abilities that we see in this chapter is that he can actually copy other people's abilities. And Zora actually makes a mention that kind of power is OP, because if he can copy other people's abilities, then he's basically just unstoppable. I mean, if his abilities may not be as strong as we were pointing out in this chapter when he uses Yami's ability, But still, if he can copy other people's magic abilities, then he's going to be able to basically take out anyone at this point. And basically, there's only one person at this point who could take him out, and that's Asta, because Asta doesn't have any actual magic abilities. I mean, I guess you can count his black form as a magic attack, but not really, and I doubt he could copy that. At the end of the day, his magic abilities are just his, anti-magic swords, which I doubt Lyra will be able to copy. So, of course, Asta's a perfect villain or a perfect opponent for him to fight. So, I guess the next chapter is just going to be him taking down Meliona and Zora, or maybe just taking down Meliona and then Zora being like Asta's backup when Asta fights him. I don't know. We're clearly going to see him. We're clearly not done with Lyra yet. Even though he gets one shot in this chapter, we're clearly not done with the fight between him and Meliona yet. Can't wait to see what happens between the two of them. I'm sorry if I sound a little off. I'm a little sick right now. I'm basically fighting off a cold right now, so I'm trying to do this video very fast, and my voice probably sounds a little weird, and I'm talking a lot louder than I usually would because my voice is just that much lower. But yeah, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Drop me a like, subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. Comment down below with your thoughts and theories, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.